A few weeks ago, John, Susan and myself were out with some Dutch visitors, and during the course of the evening one of the guys said, "How did you first meet?" And it was touched upon briefly, and then inexplicably the conversation went off in a different direction. But it triggered my recollection of that first momentous encounter, which was traumatising and shaping in equal measure, and also almost exactly 30 years ago. I was working for a company called Indelex, which was a great extruder back in the day, down in Cheltenham. And John and his father, many of the people here will remember Indelex, who've been kicking around for a long time in the nicest possible way, like Greg and Eddie and Martin and Joanne. Joanne in particular, she was a direct competitor of mine at the time, and it was always frustrating competing against this fit young Scouse blonde that everybody wanted to see. But time takes its toll, Joe, does it not? And John and his father had done a very astute job buying up the overages that Indelex produced at a concessionary price. Now, Indelex at that time was not run by its directors, it was run by two brothers, hardliners, twin brothers, Pete and Barry Hughes, the Hughes Corporation, or the Cray twins, depending where in their favour one sat, and everyone sat on the wrong side of it. And I got a call from Pete Hughes, by far the scariest of the two, and he said, "Frank, can you pop up to Simmal at Preston?" It was slightly more descriptive than that. It was, "Frank, get your beep up to Simmal at Preston. Slight quality problem with some material. Ask for John, but be careful, he can be a bit tetchy." Well, alerted by the Cray twins as to someone's tetchiness, I am understandably concerned. I almost fear for my life. This requires careful planning, think I. That John Simmons bloke, I hear he starts early. I'll get up there sharpish. That always works, that always does the trick. 7 o'clock, I'm shown from the then one office into the then one warehouse. Picture the scene. Backlit, menacing silhouette of a young John, swarthy, testosterone pumping, symbolic shiny brogue poised atop damaged material, waiting for his prey, me. "This company stands for one thing, friend, quality," he whispered tenderly, and berated me for the next 10 minutes without pause. It seemed longer, as to his particular mantra of service and quality, which is one that endures to this day. Well, my cunning and subtle plan to impress was dissolving around me like a bad Shakespearean tragedy as I exited the building. Chanced upon an incoming Peter Simmons, who reprised John's beating with some good-natured verbal pummelling of his own for good measure. Now, on such events, fact or fiction, is the legend of John and his father built. Now, I've seen John angry. I'm probably not alone in this, am I, Alistair Simmons? And I've seen John happy and sad, laugh and cry, and I stood alongside him on that darkest of days at Dewsbury when we faced the staff and announced its closure, and I felt his pain and almost tangible grief. And I remember the long, silent, reflective journey back, unspoken, will not be in this position again. Well, in this wonderful industry of ours, this wonderful, wonderful global industry of ours, which you have to be in to understand, which every day I feel so privileged and honoured to be a part of, John and his father are giants, great men. Indeed, if there's an Aluminium Hall of Fame, and there should be one, they would be amongst its first inductees. Great men, humble men nevertheless. Honesty and integrity their bywords and constant companion for all their years and all their dealings. Now, behind every great man there's a great woman, and in Peter's case it's his wife of long standing, the wonderful Kathleen, the matriarch of Simmal, so supportive and influential in those challenging early days. We'd pay her tribute. There should have been a bouquet of flowers round about this point, Kathleen, but the words budgetary constraints still resonate in my ears. You have to take it up with your son. And in John's case, it's obviously his mother of long standing, so that's 2 bouquets. Now, I'm only joking, Sue. Without you, John wouldn't want to be the first one in every day and the last one out every night. John, get out, sell metal, we've got horses to feed. But seriously, we're a true family business. We argue, we fall out, we squabble, quarrel, we bicker, we bitch, we sulk and we pout every day, but every day we kiss and make up and we get over it and we get on with it. Under John and his father's brilliant direction, they have steered us through 4 decades, through 3 terrible recessions so far. Over 2 generations, Alistair, you've got some big shiny brogues to fill in a few years, boy. Through the demise of Northern Counties and the recent departure of 3M to where we are today. This super company, full of eager, enthusiastic, bright, young, blue sky thinkers like me and Greg and Eddie, and okay, we're stretching a bit on the young, but daily involved in the design, supply and manufacture of products that make the world a better place and a safer place. I'm proud to work at Simmal. I'm proud to work with John. He's a leader. I'd follow him out of the trenches. I'd probably even follow you into an aluminium company again, John, at a push. Well, big push. Well, shove, in fact. So I'd ask everybody to put their hands together for the star of stage, screen, Simmal and the Sainsbury's Christmas ad, John Simmons, a great man of aluminium.